I'm just wondering, I mean, because you say that the state government has said they were going to provide security, then there was that miscommunication between the state government and the federal government.
Yes.
So that state has a state of emergency. So it's expected that you have a lot more presence of security. And so since we had the federal government colleges all closed down, it means that they could have afforded to deploy maybe a little more than usual security personnel to that school. Because one would imagine, if the governor says, okay, I will provide security, can he do more than ask the police to go there? But in a state of emergency, we know we require more than the presence of police. So shouldn't the federal government have said, okay, yes, we've heard him, let him go, but we won't take chances because we know what this can do. And then reconnaissance and send people to back up.
I think that is a better way of putting it. However, the federal government have taken the initiative to write, and the appropriate authority from the federal government wrote. And in this case, the Minister of Education. The governor does not have a standing force. And when the governor promised to provide security, the governor should have forwarded his letter to the State Commissioner of Police, State Director of the Department of State Security, and the commander of the 7th Division, by saying, I got this letter from Mr. Nwike, but I want this school to continue to function. I want them to take the exam. Can you provide me with security? He failed to do that. A letter has been written. Did he reply that letter? Now, if he had replied a letter to the Minister of Education, the minister at that particular point in time would have gone to the president or gone to the military and said, please, the governor insists that these exams must hold, and therefore I need additional security. So there is a miscommunication somewhere. But let me also roll forward. Yesterday in Abuja, I listened to a communication from the Director of Defense Information, Major General Chris Oluf-Kolade, and he said that quite often they have received information telling them, especially from the governor, that they heard 60 trucks moving at night, they heard APCs moving in certain direction. They immediately mobilize the Air Force on the air, reconnoitering these particular coordinates given by the governor, only to find out that there's nothing happening there.
So are you suggesting that
what I'm suggesting
is misleads them
what I'm
sometimes?
Suggesting, I didn't say that, but I will accept it if it came from you. But what I'm trying to say is simple, that in asymmetrical war, there is a designed red herring system. You test the water to see how the government will react to a certain scenario. That gives you an advantage, that if certain movements are detected in certain corners of the town, the government have mobilized. That gives the planners opportunity to use a different tactics. I am even surprised that the media have not picked up on the fact that a Federal Republic senator in the name of Zana, distinguished senator, was even telling us ahead of time things that were happening before the Boko Haram actually confirms that those things are happening. Who is he talking to? Another system of red herring is to tell us. Wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute, sir.
It's also possible.
No, wait a minute, sir. Let me conclude this. Let me not lose it, please. Please. Now, he says that the children have been broken into different groups and sent to various parts of the world. The number of children we saw is almost 100. So who gave him such information? He says some of them have been married off.
They should have been placed on that watch, security watch.
So that's what I think should be happen. He should be invited. He should become a person of interest to the security agencies. So Nigeria need to collectively own this thing And it took the abduction of these children for Nigerian and international community to come together. But somewhere, the truth must be told. Somewhere the truth
You know, people are always scared giving information to security agents. That is why it's a good thing that we have emergency numbers now for people to call. Isn't it also possible that some of the locals who are well comfortable giving information to the senator would have given him information to say, look, we saw this and we saw that, and this is what we think is happening, and knowing full well that while they can trust him, he can as well let the nation know what exactly is happening?
Well, if that were the case, then we can accept that. But during the senator's narrative, he's never confessed that the indigents of that particular place were giving him such information. He has always said that information coming from Boko Haram, so to speak, suggests XYZ. So that is why we are very worried.
But if Boko Haram choose to speak to anyone, and for instance, they've always chosen to give their videotape to AFP, and does that also make them culpable?
That's another dimension that you just raised. I once accused a reporter from VOA that they are giving Boko Haram so much ground for narratives. But even channels television inadvertently may have aided Boko Haram without knowing it.
How do you mean?
When Shekau sends a video, if you watch the last video before the exhibition of the children, we showed it in full glare. He touched his head about 4 times, touched his right hand pocket about 4 times, and did a circle with his hand. And when you analyze that, he has already succeeded in giving out coded message to all the established cells that are operating. So the best thing we could do next time is to block the movement and allow the voice to speak. These are tactics you may not know, but those of us who know these things are able to see it happening.
Well, I don't think,
you're not intentional, it's not intentional by you, but you didn't know these things.
No, but again, come on, if he wants to pass a message to any of his cells, he has all the communication. He wouldn't wait for his video. He wouldn't wait for his video to be broadcast.
He has all the communications.
So he wouldn't wait for because look, by now, you're a strategic security consultant. By now, we thought people should be thinking of how they make this video. People should be thinking of how these videos are edited. People should be thinking of how they get this video out. And these are some of the things that should have given a lead to those people who are trying to stop this madness that people are going through. If you look at it, when you put some kind of blame on people like distinguished Senator Zana, people will be a little bit worried and say, perhaps you wouldn't want them to speak up when they have any further information.
No, that's not the case. This media briefing center that the government has set aside, even the numbers that Department of Security are giving you, do not request you to give your name. Therefore, you are not jeopardized in any manner, form, or shape. You are calling and you're delivering information which will be interrogated, and if found to be true, will be acted upon. So that is the point. So calling a senator is one thing, and the senator coming to the security agencies and say, please, in the interest of my constituency, I have gotten this information.
Okay, you say he should have been speaking with the security agencies if he gets any information.
You threw a poser. The senator coming to security agencies to say, please, I just got this from my constituency and they are worried about XYZ is another. But the senator to go to the press with such information before going to the security agencies should be worrisome to you, to me, to Chamberlain, to NATO, to the rest of Nigerians. Wait a minute. You have also pointed something. The internationalization of observation of the video making. You're very correct. Those videos are made by someone, they are edited, they are fed to the internet. Nigeria doesn't have the technology to monitor that. Who does? The Americans, the British, the French. These are things that we hope they can give to us. Remember here, you people complained, or some of your viewers sent you email that federal government is spending money to monitor emails, as if that was the wrong thing to do.
As if it's the right thing to do as
well. It
well.
is the right thing to do. We must.
Is there a framework of the law to do that?
Now, that is what was missing.
So that doesn't make it the right thing to do?
That framework. No. That is what is missing. Going back to 9/11, immediately it happened, George Bush got up and declared war on terror. When he declared that war on terror, he went to the Congress and sought the Patriot Act, giving him the authority to monitor everybody in the United States, including the senators.